Hello, this is Dr. Deb Watry, and let's talk a little bit about our last 2 weeks that we have here in our course, SPED 780. Excited to be working with you and want to give you some good information as we wrap up. We are moving into week 6. Week 6 overview is basically for you to design 3 possible research questions and talk about why it's a good question, why you're interested in that. The week's readings is just a review of all the videos and resources that we've covered so far in the course, so it's nothing new. And then your week 6 discussion is for you to talk with your other students in your class about your 3 possible questions. So do develop some depth to that. You've been doing very well with the discussions, and I'm very, very pleased with how you are interacting with each other. So 2 weeks ago, I'm just hoping that you keep up with that good work. Week 7 I want to spend some time with. That's our last week of the class, and the overview is basically you're going to be developing your action research plan. So your readings, I want to pay attention to the readings for this week. There is a lot of information about APA style. Also, if you went back to week 4, you'd also see some information about writing an APA style. It's a very important. Your discussion question will be to talk about a little bit what you've learned and insight that you've gained throughout the last 7 weeks. So that's our last discussion point. Do finish strong, again, I encourage you. And the biggest assignment we have for the course, worth 30 points, is your actual research proposal. And that is just a plan. You're not going to be doing action research unless you take 784. So some other things that I have in that week 7. You will see that we have, I have 2 samples for action research, and then I have also the scoring rubric so you can see how your proposal will be graded. So the action research proposal, we want to double space it. These are the requirements, and you'll use a subheading for each one, and also how long should it be? What will I be looking for? So your area of focus, I'm not going to read it over for you, but this is where you talk about the articles that you did for your annotated bibliography. This is where you work in information from that research you've already done. So it will be 2 or more pages. Remember, again, this is double spaced. So this is kind of the meat of that action research proposal. Locus of control is what do you control? About 2 paragraphs. This is in your study of the students, the design, what things do you have control over. The research questions, maybe you have 2 questions that you're investigating. The data collection, be very specific on the information that you're going to collect and how you will do that, and that's about 2 paragraphs. And your data analysis, again, 2 or more paragraphs. How will you interpret that data? What method will you be using? If you take quantitative, qualitative, or a mixture of both, you need to describe, okay, why that is a good method and how you would handle this type of research. Okay, so 2 or more paragraphs in that. The reflective stance is what will you do with this information once you've been collected? Who are you going to share it with? How are you going to prepare it and put it out there? This last page of the action research, part of the action research, is something that you do in 784. So this is the part that you really can't address right now, but you can put the heading in there. So when you do, excuse me, let's get back to that. Sorry. When you do this paper should be between 4 to 6 pages in length. You need to do APA style, and that's in week 7 readings, and also back in week 4 you were given APA resources, so you do want to make sure you review that. It will include a title page, text citations, and a reference page. So you want to make sure that your reference page is put in the correct order, it's all listed in alphabetical order, and that you follow the correct format. So you will see 2 student samples, student sample A and student sample B, so you can see what does it look like when it's all written out. Just be aware that in student sample B there were errors in the reference page. The scoring rubric, this is our biggest assignment, 20 points for the content. That's all of the components that you provide. The components, and you provide in depth, it's accurate, you've applied the concept, you have some good literature that you reference back, that you pull out from your annotated bibliography. So we want to make sure that we get you all into this area, and that's why the student samples will be good examples for you. Format worth 10 points, and this is scholarly, well-organized writing, grammatically correct, and that you adhere to APA format. Okay, because this is 30 points, if you don't have correct APA format, you may lose 1 or 2 points, and that already then would impact your total grade. So I'm asking you to take time and doing very good writing as you're doing this. This is our last big assignment. We have 2 weeks of discussion, and you're developing your action research plan. So I'm just encouraging you to finish strong. I know that you can do a good job. Your writing has been excellent, so I know that you're good writers. Just pay attention. Student examples will help you, but that you do use good APA style. Okay, so if you have questions, don't be afraid to email me. I try to get back to you as soon as possible and help you as much as I can. So I'm looking forward to these last 2 weeks, and I wish you lots of luck, and that I know you're going to do a good job. So we will be talking back and forth to you as we go through these last 2 weeks.